he was just saying, my mindset just kind of like, it's just, I get really clear with what I want. I write it down and I just think about, okay, what is it that I want? Have I accomplished what it is that I've wanted to accomplish in 2024, or the beginning of the year? And it's a time to really reflect, and we still have, some time. We have about, I I did the math the other day, but we have about, so right now it's October 15th. So we can open escrows maybe for one more month. One more month. We only have a month to be able to get anything closed this year, to close it. Because remember, a lot of escrows stop working. Some escrows even stop working like 2 weeks in December. And they'll tell you ahead of time, like, hey, we won't be open or whatever. But people start, closing early for the week, or they're only working, 3 days or whatever. So, and I take it as, okay, we only have really, we only have one more month left for the rest of the year. So my mindset is, Monica, have you accomplished everything that you wanted to accomplish? And if not, now you have to really, have that tunnel vision and decide, what is it that you want? How do you want to end the year? Because how you end the year is also how you're going to start the new year. So if you end the year just very casual, very chill, not working, taking it easy, taking a break because you had an amazing beginning of the year, well, guess what? The beginning of next year is also going to be very chill and relaxed. And we don't want that. So for me, I feel like business kind of comes in the spring and summer because of all the things that we're already doing, right? So we just have the momentum. So it's really easy to just kind of like go, 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 work the deals, go, go, go. But I think this time of the year is the time where we start hitting the prospecting. We start organizing our systems. We start bringing in new systems, because there is a little bit of a slowdown, but it's nice because you get to work on your business. And then that's going to reflect throughout the rest of of next year. So that's kind of what I did last year too, is I started working on my systems and processes around this time. And so that's been able to really push me through the whole year. So now I get to reflect and say, okay, what worked? What didn't work? What can I remove from my overhead that hasn't really made me any money? And what can I add to possibly improve? And this is the perfect time to do it, rather than waiting till January 1, because if we do hit any bumps in the road, or if I do notice that maybe some things aren't working, I can adjust before the new year begins.
So the whole thing that you're doing, it sounds like it's coming from like a mindset place. Like you're just ultra focused, ultra obsessed about what you're doing. But
Yeah.
if it's okay with you, I want to go a little deeper on that, because what I'm really curious, what I personally want to know, and then this is a conversation team. So if you guys have a question for Monica or myself, or maybe just another agent on the team, drop into the chat or just open up your mic. I want this to be more of a conversation, because I am really curious about Monica's mindset, like that focus and that hunger. You said that's what's driving you, but what's driving that? How did you get focused? How did you get hungry? How did you get obsessed about what you wanted? Because I might be obsessed about something. It doesn't mean I'm going to get up and actually do it. So
Yeah.
what's the driving force behind it?
So I can attribute a lot of my success this year to um, time blocking some things in my life. And I'm not even going to say my business, I'm going to say my life. And then it kind of had a trickle effect. So my mental state stays very clear, because I this year I incorporated fitness into my life. And that wasn't a thing before. And it's not just fitness, it's health and fitness. So I prioritized my health. Last this year I had really high cholesterol. I was overweight, but not in a bad, like not in a way where you would see me and you would say, "Oh, Monica's overweight." I was overweight in the fact that, like, my My labs said I was overweight. Like everything, my labs were terrible. So I was like, holy crap, Monica, get it together. And on top of that, I already have health issues. So it wasn't helping me at all. If anything, it was making it very scary. And I was like, there's in this business, you have a thousand a thousand problems can come up. You have 100 problems a day, if not more. And that's what we deal with. We are, especially when you're a leader, like we're putting out fires constantly. We're in the business to put out fires and to make money. But so in a business, you have 100 problems. But when you talk to someone that is dealing with health issues, they only have one problem, and that's their health. They only
Wow.
have one problem. Nothing else matters. Nothing else. Nothing matters. So I put that into my perspective and I was like, what is my business without my health? It's nothing. If I don't have my health, I don't have my business. And it's a privilege to have 100 problems because that means that you're working, and that means that you're making money if you're having all these problems in your business. And you want that. You want to have problems like you, because that just means that you're working, you're doing something. But if I don't have my health, I can't even work on my business. So it was a really good light switch for me to say, hey, you know what? I need to prioritize my health and everything else will follow. So I'm in a hoodie right now because I accidentally double booked myself for this training and to go on to go on a walk with my husband. So he's getting ready, but as soon as he's ready, I'm going to multitask and I am going to, normally I work out at 9, but my trainer called off this week he went on vacation, so I've just kind of been taking it easy this week and working out at my own pace. But I work out every day at 9 o'clock, so 9 to 10 is my time. I get it, most people have to work at that time, and honestly, like, it's probably not the best time to set your workout, but it works for my schedule. It works for me. Anyone else can't hear? Can you guys not hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
hear you.
It works for me and it works for my schedule. So you have to figure out something that also works for you, right? So this works for me. Immediately when I'm done with my workouts at 10, I do a hard stop, I get ready, and typically I'm in the office by 11 o'clock, and then it just kind of doesn't stop. I'll stay in the office maybe 11 to 4-ish, 5-ish. If I'm with clients, I have later days, and then I get off the phones by 7 p.m. But what I've noticed is that since I have been time blocking my workouts, number one, because in the beginning of the year I was doing a lot of walking, so I walked maybe for like 2 or 3 months, only walking. I would walk 3 to 9 miles every day. And in those 3 to 9 miles, I would have a lot of epiphanies. I would have a lot of like, just like work epiphanies. And I would write them down. I would call my assistant. I would, just be like, hey, we need to do this. We need to do that. Or I was always working or doing Zooms while I worked out. So, how cool would it be to have a Zoom with your team and at the same time you're getting a workout in, rather than me being behind a desk and not being able to work out? So I was kind of like killing two birds with one stone at the same time. But that really gave me the mindset that I have now. Not only did my cholesterol go down, I lost 25 pounds. I can see some abs. I feel great. I feel amazing. My skin is glowing. And that's like, that protrudes confidence as well, and clarity, so much clarity. Cardio is just so good for your health. So much clarity, mental clarity, where I really can see I can see what I want to do. It's never been more clear than it is now. So that's kind of where my state of mind is at right now.
And so, like, just looking from the outside in, it seems like Well, I remember watching you and Lester walking in the very beginning. Like
Yeah,
every day, it was a walk. It was a walk. And then eventually it got to like, all right, now we're working out. And then we started eating healthier. And then we started seeing physicians, and now our nutrition's on point. And then now
yeah,
the team, now you're, then it went from, well, based on the timeline you're telling me, it went from like you getting your health together, and then and then that encouraged you to get your time blocking together. So now your
mhm,
calendar's tighter.
yeah,
And then because your time is tighter, now your team is tighter, and now the
yeah,
production is increasing. So all of it started with you, but then it had a trickle effect into every other part of your business.
exactly.
That is
Yeah.
so big. And I think for most of us out there, I know for me, when I first got started in real estate, I loved being busy and I wasn't productive and I wasn't efficient. So I
Mhm.
would take one listing and I would drag it out every day, all week. And I'm like, I get to go pick up the lockbox. I get to go drop off the lockbox. I get to go drop off these flyers and all these little things for the business that wasn't making money. But really, when I realized if I just shortened it up and I time blocked and I started delegating or deleting things from my schedule, I had more time to love myself and then work out and go do things that really mattered. Like go pour into your cup, because you said something a moment ago. You said, I even have time blocking for other things like my family, my husband, my kids.
Yeah.
How important is that for you as like a team leader is running a business at a high level? How important is the family time and the spouse time?
So family time is super important. It's really hard, honestly, like even now, it's there's no such thing as balance. So, like my kids, for example, they have catechism on Mondays, so they have to be there at 4:15. And then they have baseball throughout the week, and sometimes their baseball practice is at 4:30. And then Fridays they have they've been doing what's it called? Like the computer classes, coding. They've been doing coding classes for years now. And they go every Friday at 4 o'clock. So it's hard because it's also me and Lester. We want to pick up our kids. We want to, we could hire somebody, but then that takes away a lot of quality time. And I think I learned this from you, Gabe, a long time ago, where like when I do drop off my kids in the mornings, I prep them for the day. We do affirmations, and it's so funny because sometimes my mom comes over and she'll help me like drop off the kids. And before my son walks, especially my little one, before he walks out the door, he's like, "Mom, I am smart. I'm gonna get 100% on my test. I am handsome." And like he just says it all on his own, and it makes me so happy. And Lester loves it because he has so much confidence because of that now. And the reason I actually started that is because he was walking out of the car with his head down for about a week when school first started. And he would come back in the car with his head down and he would just say, "I have no friends. I have no friends." And I was like, "Honey, with that attitude, you're not going to have any friends." I did talk to his teachers and I just said, "Hey, can you keep an eye on my son? He keeps saying he has no friends." So they also helped with in the classroom with him talking to people and making friends. But the biggest thing that I noticed is the affirmations completely changed his mindset. Like he is so confident now. I tell him, like, I when we do our affirmations, I say, "Hey, I will make a new friend today, and I will be friendly, and I will help someone if they fall down." And so then when we get in the car, which I like this time when I do pick them up, I go over three things that they learned and then something fun that they did at school. So we go over three things that they learned in school and then something fun that they did. And then my little one, he always tells me, "Mom, today I talked to a kid and he was new in class and he didn't have any friends, but I'm his friend now." And I love it because I know he's doing it from, his past experience, and it just shows me that I'm doing something right. So I don't want to take away from that time, the drop-offs and the pickups. But me and my husband will normally delegate majority of the time. Sometimes I do have to have my mom help us if if there's an event or something like that comes up. But I do want it to be us. and then the beauty is that it's their school is really close to my office, so I can just go pick them up, and then we go straight to the back to the office, and I finish whatever it is that I'm doing. But that already in itself gave me some quality time, even if it was just 10 minutes in the car. Gave me some real quality time to talk to them, to see how their day was doing. So that that helps a lot, taking them to their whatever they have to do going on. And it's nice because while I am at their practices, guess what? I have my laptop. I'm calling, making phone calls. I think that has helped a lot too, is when they are at practices, I can either just drop them off, go right back to the office, and then come back, or I can stay and I can continue to take those calls. So it's a lot of time blocking. It literally is a lot of time blocking. So now I know while my kids are at practice, I have about an hour, hour and a half to make more phone calls, to follow up with people. And then on the days that I don't, like let's say my husband's like, hey, I'm gonna go take them. That's even better for me because I've already time blocked that time. And so I'll just stay in the office and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna continue hitting my calls. I don't have to be at their practice to do it. Now I can stay in the office and I can do that. And then also I have to make sure I time block my husband in the evening. And that's our quality time. And like I said, some days there's no balance. But then we have to pick back up, right? We have to know, like, wherever it is that we're not pouring into, make sure that we pour back into it. So some weeks where I'm like super heavy in the event side and I haven't given my family that quality time, I just have to reflect and be like, okay, you know what? We're all taking off to San Diego. We're going to go to a game. We're going to have fun, and then I can continue my work week the rest of the week. So like you just need those days sometimes where you're just like kind of wipe everything off, and then if you can, and move things around, and then just make time for what's important, which is family. So having started those walks, I now know that, hey, my work day, I tell my assistant, my work day does not start till about 11, maybe even 12 o'clock. And what I do is I set appointments Mondays and Tuesdays, and I have a certain time where she can set my appointments. And this is for like new clients that we're doing, like, any meetings or anything like that. So those are usually Mondays and Tuesdays. And then let's say I have agents that are wanting to talk to me about ROA. I also time block them, and typically that looks like a certain time on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. If those days happen to fill up, we push it out to Fridays. Typically, my Wednesdays and Thursdays are really busy with, that's when I'll do in-person meetings or stuff like that. But my assistant knows now what days to schedule me in first. So if I happen to not fill up my week, I know that I'll have Friday pretty free to maybe work on my business rather than, or is it on or in the business? To
Yeah,
work.
in your business, yeah, like you're saying, or on, I guess, depending how you run it.
Yeah, so like Fridays, if I haven't set any appointments for that day because I first filled up the beginning of the week, if I have Fridays free, then I'm going to work on my systems and processes, my website, like all of those things, making sure that they're working. But it's nice to be able to fill up one full day rather than having a bunch of appointments sporadically. And that was another thing that I learned to do a lot this year is, hey, let's be efficient with your time, because if I'm going to go to the office and take appointments, I would rather do it all in 1 or 2 days, get it out of the way, and then start setting appointments for the following week. Obviously, unless there's some type of urgency with like clients, right? If clients are only available at a certain time.
Oh, someone muted you. Hold up, someone muted you, Monica. Mute yourself.
Sorry.
Cherie, can you help me mute the other people, please? Oh, hold on, let me do it.
I think Elizabeth, oh, there we go. Yeah, so if for example, if if a client can only do a certain day or a certain time, of course I'm going to do it when they're available. But one thing I also notice with a lot of agents is that they're very quick to schedule an appointment during a training, during something that's also important for their business. And you don't have to do that. You really don't. You can set your time and say, hey, you know what? I'm not available at 12. I have a team meeting, but how about 1? I'm available at 1. So just because the client says that they're available at that time doesn't mean that you can't, move that time around in the same day, right? So things that are important to you, you have to make time for it. You have to. And you can't just jump as soon as the client says, "Well, it's this day," because I promise you the client has more other days that they're available or other times that they can adjust as well. And typically when you tell them like, "Hey, this is my availability," they'll find a day and a time that they can either step out of work to talk to you, or that they can say, oh yeah, I can take that day off. And it's nicer when they are putting a little bit of skin in it themselves, because then you know that they're serious about wanting to purchase a home, rather than you jumping at any time or any day that they say that they are available. Sundays, I don't work Sundays. I won't take anything unless that's the client's only day off and they're like, hey, this is the only day I can do it, then I will. But 9 out of 10 times, they can go around your schedule. So I already know what days I tell them first. I'm like, hey, I'm open Mondays and Tuesdays from 12 to 4 p.m. Do these days work? If not, then we can make it, then let me know what your schedule is and I can look at mine and we can adjust. But I will never, ever book something during a training that I know that I want to listen to, or something that's important. Like you'll never hear me call off my team meetings just because I have a listing appointment. I won't do that. I won't. So time blocking has been very huge in my business and in my life.
I feel like the time blocking aspect is something that's very underutilized and underlooked at. I want to give you guys perspective. So Monica runs her business a certain way that works really good for her. And what I really like about what Monica's saying is that she started off first with walking. Like that was that. I hope you guys all took that away. It's walking that she first started off with. So there's a quote that says, "You don't have to be great in order to start, but you do have to start in order to be great." And Monica started with walking, and then walking ended up freeing up her mind space. And then she was able to think about things clearly. And then she was able to delegate things clearly. And then she was able to execute clearly. And those little small stepping stones in the beginning then led to, now I'm working out in the gym. Now we have a personal trainer. Now my nutrition's on point. And everything started to fall in place because there was order. Look, you can't build a house, and Casa Limon, the Limon team knows this best. You can't build a house with the roof first. You got to have a foundation. You have to have foundation. What's your foundation? Every top producer that I talk to, every single person who's winning at a high level, their foundation is their calendar. I live by my calendar. I have appointments. I know exactly what I'm doing. Sundays, like Monica said, I don't work unless it's the absolute only day. But I'm sure Monica's exhausting all options before she even touches Sunday. What about Monday? What about Tuesday afternoon? What about 3 at 6 and this and that? Your calendar has to be so dialed in. My calendar is a little different, Monica. So the way that I do it is every single Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, I have that time blocked off for appointments. So all of my busy work gets done first thing in the morning. Crazy. I actually started waking up at 4:45 the last few weeks. So now I'm up at 4:45. I'm working out by 5 o'clock. Suited and booted at the office by 7:30. And I'm having my first meeting with my operations manager at 7:45. We're done by 9 a.m. with every meeting. That's with my manager. That's with my assistant. That's with my marketing director. Everything's done by 9 a.m. and my showing agent. So now I have a full understanding of what's happening with every single file by the 9 a.m. At that point, my mind space is clear. That's where I go make contacts. I follow up. I do my appointments. I do these trainings. And I can do them with a clear space because all of the business was taken care of before that. Even for ROA. So all the SGIs that we've been doing, everything's in the afternoon, middle of the day, because we've taken care of the business already. So my money making activities is typically from like 12 all the way to like 6 o'clock at night. And depending on the night, I might get home a little early, maybe 4 or 5. I might get home really late, like last night. I got home at midnight. But I had two really good conversations with two really big teams about ROA because I put myself in a position to have those conversations. And then Saturday and Sunday, I work less now. I don't show houses anymore. I don't do open houses anymore. And it's not because I'm too good for it. That's exactly how I started my business. But it's because I built a system and a business around myself where I can have Sundays completely off and have Saturdays completely off. And I want you guys to understand, like, if you ever want to get your business to a point where you're turning it into a business, not where you're just a sales agent on call for 7 days a week, you have to start setting those parameters now. You have to have your calendar now. You have to have consistency. I know a lot of agents that are out there that really love busy work as opposed to productive work. And Monica, everything she said that I'm taking notes on right now, everything that she just said is focused on production. How do I move the bottom line? How do I move the needle? Every single day, you guys should be focusing on that one thing in your business that will move the needle forward. For me, every day, my number one goal every day is to set 2 listing appointments. That's my goal. If I hit one, I'm not happy. I will claw, tooth, and nail until I get that second listing appointment. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't even get any listing appointments in one day. But my main focus is I just want that. And like the bold laws talk about, what you focus on will expand. So what are you thinking about every day? Or like Monica talked about, are you even giving yourself time to think? Do you even have space to think? Or are you waking up every single day just being reactive? Or maybe you're being reactive because there is no calendar, there is no schedule, there is no order, there is no foundation on how you're building everything. And I love what Monica said, talking about health as wealth. Team, you got to lock in. In order for you to be that person who your clients want to be around, your kids want to be around, you have to have your mental and physical health in order and your emotional health. Like Monica spends a lot of time with her kids and her husband, and that fills her emotional cup. You know, there's a little illustration that I like to give people, and I'm not ready to give the illustration right now, but Monica, can you tell me which cup is empty, which one's full?
The red one's empty.
Yeah. And the white one is, and this clear one is full.
It's full, yeah.
So I want you to think of yourself like this empty cup or this full cup. When you wake up in the morning, are you pouring into yourself first, or are you pouring into everyone else first? If you're the person who wakes up, you don't work out, you don't read, you don't spend time with your family every week, you don't go to the gym, you don't eat healthy, and all you do is work, 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 and you're depleted all the time, you're going to be like this empty cup. And it's going to be extremely difficult for you to put your best into everything else because you're pouring from an empty cup. But like Monica and a lot of other top producers I know, they focus on filling their cup first. I work out. I spend time with my family. I'm grounded in my faith. And their cup is ultra full. And then from here, she can pour into her team. She can pour into her clients. She can pour into her SGIs at ROA. She can pour into her group. She can pour into the speaking events that she has. And she has this place where she's coming from abundance, not from lack. You can't give something you don't have. And I'm hoping you guys are taking that away from today's talk. And I mean, man, we went through the 40 minutes pretty quick there. Team, if you guys have any questions as we're wrapping up, or Monica, if you have any final thoughts or questions yourself, let's land this plane in the next couple of minutes.
I do have a question
Go ahead.
for Monica. So as you guys know, I live in TJ, right? So I pay for a person that helps me clean twice a week, trying to open up my time. But I'm trying to figure out if I should get now an assistant next year. Because my husband kind of worked as my assistant, but as he's getting more busy in Tijuana with real estate, he has no more time. How do you determine what assistant might work? Because what I noticed with my husband, he's opposite of me. He's patient, more calm, more slow. I'm more fast paced, so he complimented me a lot. But I'm just not sure what to look for if I do decide to go get an assistant to add to my time so I can free myself up.
That's a really good question. Hold on one second. I'm going to divert. So I think am I making money already to be able to hire an assistant that is in person, or do I need a virtual assistant to start off? I personally think virtual assistants can help a lot. So even if that means freeing up your time to be able to do more of the activities, in-person activities, that's good. At the end of the day, you want to open up your time. So if you have a virtual assistant that can follow up with your clients, that can follow up with your leads, that can make those calls, right? Because those are really important calls. But if you've already had an initial phone call with those clients and those leads, it doesn't have to be you every single time. And as a matter of fact, people actually like it when there is an assistant because they feel like there's this whole, company behind them that's helping them. So when there are systems in place and there are other people that are able to help, the clients actually really do end up liking it because they are able to get a lot of attention from your company. So the assistant will be a reflection of you, and it's okay to delegate those things. It's okay to, have follow-up calls. It's okay to have your assistant follow up with the lenders. Like that is so much time that frees you up. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah. Okay. It frees up so much of your time. And what I also do is I make sure that my assistant is talking. I have multiple lenders. So my assistant is talking to the lenders at least once a week. And then she lets me know where we're at in the deals. And then she follows up with the clients. And the cool thing too is that because of the systems that I use, she can follow up as me with my clients if it's not on a phone call. When she's text messaging them, it's me. They think it's me that's texting them, but in reality it's her. So to them, I'm following up weekly, daily, I'm following up with the clients a lot. So I it just depends on your budget. Virtual assistants are great, but you are going to have to take time to train them first. Um, but also, if all of your time's already being taken up, then I can imagine that hiring somebody is only going to be able to help you, right? And also I wanted to touch on something that Gabe mentioned. As far as like us being able to delegate business and being able to take off, my schedule is 8 years in the making. It didn't happen overnight. So what I don't want is for you newer agents to think, oh, I can have Monica's schedule. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to get the business that you want using the schedule that I have. And I know that that's the end goal, and the end goal to be able to, free up your Sundays and not have to do open houses and all of that. But you need to put in the grind at first. Because I know Gabe mentioned that, by 9 a.m., his assistants already know what they need to do. He's already, kind of followed up with everything that he needs to do. So by 9 o'clock, he's just hitting the phones or he's working. Well, in the evenings, I'm telling my assistant what needs to be done in the morning because I already know I'm not going to be available in the mornings. So I actually do my prep time at night because in the mornings it's, me getting the kids ready. It's me getting myself ready, having breakfast and I have to take them to school. So I don't have the privilege to be able to wake up earlier and knock things out because by 7 a.m., between 7 and 9, that's my kids' time. My kids need me then. And then 9 to 10 is my workout. So at night, I prep. So in reality, I probably am working more hours, but you know what they say, when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. But I'm actually prepping the night before to, number one, figure out what am I going to post. That I can delegate. I still haven't, believe it or not, you guys, I haven't delegated my personal social media. Maybe you have noticed more activity on my business social media, but that's not me. That's my assistant, and my personal social media, I've still been afraid to let go of like giving someone the password. I'm just so deathly afraid because this is my whole business. And if anything were to ever happen, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I could do that. But I am getting a program that's allowing me to have an assistant on the back end without having them to log in. So I'm gonna get that. But why I say this to say I'm prepping the night before. I'm giving my assistants, I have two now. I give them the list the night before of what needs to be done in the morning while I'm not available. So I'm like, hey, in the morning, I need you guys to do this, this, this. These are the trainings that you guys need to let everybody know to be on. These are the people that you need to call. You need to follow up with this person, blah, 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 blah. So I give them a whole checklist. So by 11, 12 o'clock, when I am ready to start working, I didn't miss out on anything in the morning. They already did all the work for me. I delegated. So much has already been done because I was able to delegate it to my assistants. And then now it's my personal meetings, appointments that I get to. And then I can have conversations and follow up with my assistants and say, hey, where did we leave off? What do we need to do? But in the beginning, it was grind. I mean, I was on those 5 a.m. phone calls. I was that agent where I needed that mindset to be able to push through as an agent at the end of the day. So I was waking up super early. I was doing the journaling. I was doing, the working out early in the mornings. Like that was me. And I feel like people need that, especially in the beginning, to get your mind trained as to is um this is something that I learned through real estate, and I really really enjoy it because I need it. I need it. So this to say, if you're a newer agent, make sure you're putting in enough and not just trying to only work 2 hours out of the day, because you are going to need more time for your business.
Gabe, you're muted.
Gabe, you're muted.
All right, thank you. There's a quote that I read out there, and I want you guys to write this one down. This is very powerful because Monica just touched on mindset. Everything that you do in this business will rise and fall on your mindset. And here's the quote. It says, the well you drink from is the well that you lead from, and the well that you live from. Which well is quenching your thirst? And I think this is so powerful because if you replace, it's a metaphor for life. It's an analogy. It's a metaphor for life. So the well that you're drinking from is the well that you'll live from. What's quenching your thirst? Are you waking up and listening to music every morning? Are you waking up every day and it's nagging and arguing and fighting? Or is it social media? Like, what's that well that you're drinking from? Or is it the opposite? Are you waking up and you're on the 5 at 5 call that we just started with the winner's circle? That is only for the winner's circle. And we have about 10 people on there right now that are boogers in their eyes, there's bags, and all of us have our cameras on. And it's tough. It's tough waking up that early in the morning. It's tough to get your mind right. It's hard knowing that you have to work out first thing, get your mind right when everyone is sleeping and they're posting on social media, making it look like their life is the best life in the world and everyone's making things look so great. It's hard to show up at the office and do all those things. Those things are difficult to do. And this is why what Monica's telling you is getting the mindset right is so important. What well are you drinking from? Who's quenching your thirst? I mean, look at Monica. Her well is obviously very full with the right thing because she's leading from something from abundance. But if you find yourself depleted, you don't have energy, you're discouraged, you're mad, you're upset, all these things, look at the well that you're quenching your thirst from. Is it a powerful well? Is it an uplifting one? Is it one of that you're reading, that you're journaling? This is why mindset is so important. Look, if the body won't follow unless the mind starts. The only time the body will follow is when the mindset is right. When you control the mind, the body will follow. When you control the mind, the body will follow. I'll say it one more time. When you control your mind, your body will follow. You can get yourself to make the call. You can get yourself to do the follow-up. You can get yourself to wake up at 7 a.m., put up all your open house signs with excellence, strategically put the open house signs up, and then go back home, work out, shower, put your clothes on, and then show up to the open house. You know what I see a lot of? I see a lot of real estate agents putting up open house signs on their way to the open house. Sweaty, struggling, showing up to the open house late, doing these things. Not you, not you. This is the winner's circle. This is where we win. This is where you get around eagles who are soaring at a very high level. And that's what I'm talking about. There was a question about an assistant in the group chat down below. I have an in-person operations manager. I have a virtual assistant. She's incredible. I have a marketing director that's also a virtual assistant. Amazing. And then I have an in-person showing agent. So there's 4 people total on my staff to run our operations. And there was a question about calendar and schedule. And Monica, if I can have 1 minute just to show my calendar. Do you have a quick second? I'm not sure if you're out for time or if you have a moment. I can't hear you. Is she muted?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay, awesome. We'll try to wrap it up after this. So here we go. I want you guys to take a look at my calendar. Like Monica said, this isn't something that's going to make you money right away. This is just how I live my life now. So everything is dialed in with, I have my money making activity. I told you guys I have my appointments in the afternoon. And then in my morning time, this is where I get everything done. So take a look at that. And if you guys have any questions about it, let me know. I won't go line by line, but I just want you guys to get a glimpse at what it is that I do. I'll go yesterday. Workout 4 to 4:15. I'm on the 5 at 5 call. I left a men's prayer. I went home, got ready. And then we're doing file review at 8:30. While we're file reviewing, I'm messaging all my clients at 8:30 in the morning, all my escrows, all my listings, all my active buyers who have offers going out. I'm in contact with every client every day. This is how we're getting so many referrals and so many listings. I'm with my operations manager, file review, then my assistant at 9 a.m., and then my showing agent, 9:15. And again, every day. So this is what a calendar looks like for me now, but my calendar's evolved from the very beginning. It hasn't always looked like this. So I don't want you guys to look at it and be like, oh, I have to wake up at 4:15 and 4 o'clock. No, get up at 6:30 and start hitting the phones at 7. Your number one priority as a real estate agent is to make contacts, write contracts. You should be prospecting, following up, setting appointments, going on appointments. That's it. If it's not doing anything like that, making money, delegate it to someone else. And that's that there. Do we have any final questions for Monica or anyone else before we wrap up?
Hi, Gabe. Yes, I wanted to know where you what website or how are you hiring the virtual assistant?
I have an incredible agency. I'll send the information over to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cool. I don't see any more questions on there. Monica, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Yes. I hope you guys really took something from this. You guys are hearing from myself and from Gabe, 2 people that have been in the business. I think around the same time. How many years have you been in, Gabe?
Since 2015.
Okay, I got it in 2017. But we've been in the business for quite some time. And even now, we continue to have larger schedules, right? I actually think that now that we're not new, our schedules fill up even more because there's a lot more appointments, there's a lot more closings, there's a lot of stuff to do. And you guys have to also think, is this something, are you guys in the business for the right reason? And because if this all feels like work to you guys, and this is the beginning, right? This is just the beginning for you guys. And if you guys already feel exhausted, well, you guys are in for a rude awakening if and when your guys' business starts to jump off, because there's no stopping. There's no slowing down. There's just adjusting and, moving around your schedules. And I'm sure my schedule will change. I'm sure Gabe's will change because mine is getting busier. So I am now having to think like, okay, does my workout fit at this time? Do I have to change it? And that's only because business is getting, busier and busier. So I have to make sure that I make time for everything still, and it'll continue to adjust. But are you guys in the business for the right reasons? Because if your reason is to make a lot of money and have a lot of free time, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So figure out your reason for being here. Figure out your reason for being in real estate, because I don't want you guys to, wait till a year or two from now to decide that, hey, I really don't like this business, or, I'm not getting anything from it because I'm not getting any business in 2 hours that I'm working, because you think that you only have to work for 2 hours a day to make money. So it's a long run in this business. You have amazing people to learn from. And obviously here at ROA, we're very collaborative, so we're all here to help. But just start thinking about your why. And if it's not strong enough, make it strong. Make it strong. Figure out why you are in this business, because it all starts with mindset, and it starts with figuring out why you are here, and why what it is that that really lights you up about this business. I'll tell you guys my why, and I learned this as I went. My why was different when I first started. Now my why, what gets me excited, is helping Latinos, helping first-time home buyers. I actually really enjoy buyers more than I do sellers, because they're so appreciative, and they will send you their tias, their tios, their compadres, their like everybody. They will refer you business. And it just makes you feel really, really good knowing that you helped a first generation have ownership of a property here. Like, that makes me sleep at night. That makes me so excited. So figure out why you are here, and find those people that are going to fuel your fire and make it exciting to be in this business. And then also working with the right people as well, making sure that you enjoy it. I enjoy learning from Gabe. If I had a different mentor or a different sponsor that I didn't really get along with, that I knew I had to be in constant contact with them, I would probably hate my job. So surround yourself with the right people that yes, I'm learning from this person, but this is also my friend. And I can also have a relationship outside of work, as friends with our families, because it's a long-term business. So start thinking about that and connecting the dots for yourself.
Yeah. And I don't want you guys, my final thought is this. I don't want you guys asking yourself how long it'll take. Yeah, what I want you guys to do is I just want you to focus on Monica said something important. If your why is strong enough, the how doesn't matter. If the why is strong enough, the how doesn't matter. If your why is strong enough, the how doesn't matter. You have to find the why. Why are you doing what you're doing? A why that will make you cry. Because in the beginning, your pain is going to push you into the vision pools. The pain is going to push until the vision pools. You may not have a vision great enough right now to get you excited to get out of bed, but I sure as heck promise you, every single one of us has some sort of pain we're trying to avoid or that we're currently going through. And in everyone's journey, that pain is going to push you until that vision pulls you. And I want you guys to focus on the why, not the how. How am I going to get 6 listings? It doesn't matter. How am I going to get these buyer? It doesn't matter. How am I going to charge my sellers 6%? It doesn't matter. What matters is that you go out there and you do the work anyways. Why am I doing it? I'm doing it for my mom. I'm doing it for my kids. I'm doing it for my spouse. I don't ever get to see my mother is 67 years old and she's still working. What's your why? What's hurting you? What's pulling you every single day to get out of bed? The how, when the why is strong enough, the how doesn't matter. And ladies and gentlemen, we're coming into a season right now where the business is picking up. Everyone on the general scope of things is talking about how slow it is. But if you look at Monica's production, it is skyrocketing. If you look at my team and my production, it is skyrocketing. I don't know what everyone else is talking about out there, but what I can tell you this for a certain fact is this. We're going to have a small slowdown this season just because it's a seasonal time and their interest rates are high. But if you plant enough seeds, you sow enough seeds in this season, after the elections are finished and after the Feds adjust the rates, Q1 of next year, it will be hunting season. You will have so much business next year that you won't know what to do with it. So put your head down, focus on the grind, figure out what your why is, and show up, show up, show up, show up, do the work. Monica and myself and the rest of the Winner Circle, we're here to help you guys out. So with that, our time is ended right at 10 o'clock. We want to thank you guys for being on here. Monica, thanks for joining on the call today. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Gabe. See you guys.
All
I'm
right.
going on my walk now.
All right, team. See you
Bye,
guys later.
team.
Bye, everyone.